CGTN 的观众朋友们，你们好，我给你们跳一支舞。
Open Gangnam Style.
Many think that economic ties between China and Africa mean made-in-China products flooding the African continent. But reality cannot be any different, as cooperation between the two sides is a two-way street. A growing number of African companies are looking to get a foothold in the Chinese market. The first China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo held in central China's Changsha this week is a window of opportunity for many African companies to launch their products in China, from jewelry to clothing to tea.
The Chinese market is a very important market, and the Chinese-Africa relationship is also very important and imperative to not only the economic stimulation, but also development in the African continent.
Hannah and her team helped 7 businesses from Africa to attend the expo this week.
We said, look at China. China's consumer market is growing by 16%. The US consumer market is growing by 2%. You should be looking at China. We also want to show consumers, Chinese consumers, that what you can get from Africa is not just raw materials. What you can get from Africa is a really high standard, high quality, beautiful product, but also that has a beautiful sustainability story behind it. Something which has really helped people escape from poverty, something that Chinese consumers themselves will really understand.
According to African business people we spoke to, the Chinese government is also trying to import more finished products from Africa and taking measures to encourage more African companies to come to China.
Well, I mean, to begin with, we are sitting at the Changsha Expo. This is one of the supports that we can get. It's an opportunity to showcase our products. You could see we have our line of moringa tea here. That's a huge opportunity. It's a first step in coming into China. That's one thing, one support that is given. Yesterday we were guests of several Hunan province government. We went to the International Trade City where they built a pavilion where you'll be able, in the near future, September, I believe, we were told to display and bring in goods from Africa. There's a pavilion for Africa, country by country, industry by industry. It's huge and massive. It's an amalgam of offline and online commerce. So this is another area where they're willing to support. They're willing to also provide trade advisory services, getting the right certifications, knowing the procedures or the processes of coming to China.
There's been support from the Chinese government to ensure that we have a smooth entry into China, and also in terms of just the customs. Our biggest issue sometimes is customs, so we're noticing that they might clear up customs and we'll be able to export and import freely.
The African businesses at the expo also expressed their hope that the Chinese government would offer more direct support to the private sector in Africa to help them expand into the Chinese market.
That there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, because right now the relationship between the two countries is still very government level, very national level, and there's a lot more work, and we want to, as private sector, want to show that you can come directly to us and do business with us, and I think that's really what we're trying to see more of. A lot of African companies aren't able to, it's a financial burden to be able to come to an expo like this, so we hope that the Chinese government recognizes that, that is an area that we can improve on to allow more really great brands like Hinua, like others, to be able to come to the Chinese market and speak for themselves.
Good things come to those who wait, so patience is a virtue. We will work as best as we can with the Chinese government. We will try and develop our products to suit the Chinese market, and in time I believe that we will have a strong impact within the Chinese market.
We are bringing